Coming up on UT 10 News, smoking is officially banned on campus, but questions are still unanswered about the new policy.
And we'll also look into some big changes happening on campus over the summer.
Plus, Cody Wright has highlights from the Rocket Baseball Weekend Series against the Ohio Bobcats. Your news in 10 minutes starts now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kristen Rosendale.
And I'm Natasha Gordon.
On the 14th, the Board of Trustees voted to ban smoking and tobacco products on main campus.
That's right, Kristen. Samantha Muirhead is live in the newsroom. Sam, are they prepared to enforce this new policy?
Well, Natasha and Kristen, no. There are still a lot of unanswered questions about how this will affect campus life.
A recent poll of 5,000 students surveyed reported that 3,000 of the students wanted the smoking ban on main campus. The first stage of enforcing this new ban is creating an implementation team to make the decisions about this new policy. Some of the decisions this team will have to make are what will happen to the current designated smoking huts, what will happen if people violate the policy, and when will they create programs to help people quit smoking.
So at this point there is no specific date when the ban will be in effect. There's no specific timeline or no specific details, but those are things that an implementation team will look at.
The administration will be appointing people from main campus who are experts on public health to help make up this team. However, no date has been set on when this team will be formed. I'm Samantha Muirhead, live from the UT 10 newsroom.
The Board of Trustees would like to put a new exit ramp from I-475 to Dorr Street. UT has agreed to give at least $1.5 million to make Dorr Street the university's main entrance. Springfield Township, Toledo, and Lucas County will also need to give over $1 million apiece. The total cost of the project would be $6 million. The Ohio Department of Transportation still needs to approve the exit ramp for the project to move forward by the end of May. 13 students from the University of Toledo went out to the middle of the forest to shoot a murder scene. For the first time ever, students in new media imaging class decided to mimic Gregory Crewdston's work. Crewdston is a photographer who is best known for his elaborate staging of landscape scenes. The class created a fake murder scene in the middle of the woods in Temperance, Michigan.
Lighting in the studio is complicated, but we went through all those technical exercises, and I wanted to take the lights out into a place where everything was unpredictable.
This class photo was inspired by Crewdston's series Beneath the Roses.
On April 11, 26 animals were seized from a Toledo resident's home. Reporter Nick Meal looked into what's happening with these dogs and cats.
A neighbor reported the incident, complaining of a foul smell. When private investigator Gene Burrows had arrived on scene, 19 dogs and 7 cats were found throughout the house, living in unsanitary conditions.
Sometimes people think that they're helping, and then they'll help more, and then they'll help more, and then they'll help more, and sometimes they multiply and it just gets out of control.
Owner Michael Suter's intention was to help these animals, but he will now face a second-degree misdemeanor count of animal cruelty. With situations like this, overcrowding can become a problem, so the Toledo Humane Society encourages Toledo residents to adopt some of these animals.
So if you need to make a report on animal abuse, want to volunteer, or just want to make a donation, you can contact the Toledo Humane Society at 419-891-0705. I'm Nick Meal for UT 10 News.
Thanks, Nick. A UT fraternity is raising money for an organization that helped them in their childhood.
The fraternity, Sigma Lambda Beta, held their first Stroll-Athon on Friday, which was sponsored by Monster Energy Drink. Strolling is a mixture of choreographed dance moves and steps that Greek organizations perform in a straight line. The goal of the event was to raise $1,000 to donate to the Boys and Girls Club of Toledo. Many of the members in the fraternity grew up in the organization, which is why they wanted to give back.
We all agreed with what the Boys and Girls Club stands for, giving children a safe place to grow and learn.
Although the event was free, donations were accepted before and during the event. Many organizations were there to support the fraternity, including the Latino Student Union. The men of Sigma Lambda Beta hope to continue this event annually. I'm Guy Matthews IV for UT 10 News.
As the end of the school year approaches, the university has big changes for campus. Reporter Andy Heilman looked at the newest plans for resident life here at UT.
On May 1st, construction will begin in the northwest corner of campus, home of the old Dowd, Nash, and White residence halls demolished this past summer. This area of campus will now be home to a new 492-bed suite and will be a part of the new Academic Honors Village. The 4-story building will top the old Tripex, adding 162 more beds, and will also be affordable for students without having to increase tuition or student fees to build. Honor students will have first dibs on rooms, but any remaining rooms not occupied will be available for undergraduate students to lease. The university feels this new housing complex will bring new life and create an appealing new look to this once desolate area of campus. The university would like to increase this percentage and believes in order to do so, building the Academic Honors Village and demolishing the less populated buildings is the answer. Carter Hall has been a part of resident life for over 50 years. Currently, the building is offline with no plans of using it.
What's the highest and best use? And it has been everything from, athletic conversations to parking to intramural.
The UT Board is still determining the future of Carter Hall. However, the Academic Honors Village will be completed by fall of 2015. I'm Andy Heilman for UT 10 News.
It was a busy Easter weekend on the Diamond for the Rocket baseball and softball teams. The men hosted a 3-game series against Ohio University here at Scott Park, while the women were on the road for their games. The women traveled to both Kent State and Buffalo for 2 games apiece against both the Golden Flashes and the Bulls. The women had a rough game in their first matchup against the Golden Flashes, getting no hits and finishing with a score of 13-0. The second game was also a disappointment for the Rockets, as the women fell 1-0. The Rockets tried to end their losing streak in Buffalo, but lost 2-0, suffering their 3rd shutout of the weekend. However, in Game 2 on Easter Sunday, the women found their strength and beat the Bulls 6-2, breaking a 9-game losing streak. While the ladies were out on the road, the men defended their home turf. Friday, they kicked off a 3-game series against the Ohio Bobcats at Scott Park. The game started out slowly, with no runs until the bottom of the 6th inning, when a double, hit by Toledo's Dion Tanzel, brought North from third to home. And there he is. In the 7th inning, the Rockets' Tyler Barr hit a single but was thrown out at first base. However, the umpire called catcher's interference and Barr was allowed to stay on base. The following batter, Jordan Kesson, smacked a triple out into center field, bringing Barr home. In the same inning, a wild pitch by the Bobcats allowed Kesson to make a dash for the plate. The Rockets played solid offense against the Bobcats, finishing the game 3-0. The Rockets returned to the Diamond on Saturday for Game 2 against the Bobcats. In the first inning, the Bobcats pounced as Jake Madsen hit a single, bringing Chandler Geller to the plate. The Rockets finally launched their attack in the bottom of the 6th when Dion Tanzel hit a double out to left field and then was brought home by Dan Zakowski's single. In the bottom of the 9th, the Rockets scored when North hit a single right up the middle, allowing John Martelota to take the plate and tie the game. In the 10th inning, the Rockets missed the mark when Bobcats' Mitch Longo scored the game-winning run, injuring himself in the process. In the end, though, the Rockets lose the game 3-2.
And we had some opportunities to do that, and we didn't execute in some really clutch situations today, and it ended up costing us.
The Rockets recovered in Sunday's game, winning 7-4 and taking the series 2-1.
Thanks, Cody. Thanks. That's it for UT 10 News for this academic year. For the latest breaking news from campus, go to our website, ut10news.com.
And we'd also like to take a minute and congratulate our graduating seniors, Natasha Gordon, Andy Heilman, Nick Meal, Samantha Muirhead, and Diane Woodring.
Also our student producer, Kristen Rosendale.
Thanks, Natasha. For Natasha Gordon, Cody Wright, and all of our crew, I'm Kristen Rosendale. Have a great summer and stay tuned for more news from the UT campus in the fall semester.